This edition of the Impact Podcast is brought to you by Engage. Engage is a digital booking engine revolutionizing the talent booking industry. With hundreds of athletes, entrepreneurs, speakers, and business leaders, Engage is the go-to spot for booking talent for your next event. For more information, please visit letsengage.com. Welcome to another edition of the Impact Podcast. I'm John Shegerian. I'm so honored to have with us today Dr. Nayan Patel. He's written a great book, one that I've read myself, The Glutathione Revolution. Welcome to the Impact Podcast, Dr. Patel.
Thank you. Thank you, John. I appreciate it.
Nayan, we were talking before we started taping this, and before we get talking about your great book, and my readers and my listeners and viewers can see, I've thoroughly read your book, marked it all up. I believe in active reading, marking up a book and circling things and underlining things. Before we get talking about this important book, can you share a little bit about your background, how you even came to discover the benefits of glutathione and why you even wrote this book?
So the benefits the discovery started being as a compounding pharmacist, working making medications and working with doctors and patients to design all the drug therapies.
Oh.
And of course, our first thing that came to our mind was, can you please make some vitamin C that is absorbable and works really good? Because nobody could dream of doing glutathione because it's never been done before. So we succeeded making vitamin C, but it was just cost prohibitive for people to buy the product. And so we took up upon ourselves, myself and my pharmacist, my researcher. I said, hey, let's do this product together. So that's the history of how glutathione came in, because somebody asked us to make something. But
wow.
background starts from my early days at USC, because it's
fight on, Doc, fight on. Got it.
Thank you. It exposes you to thinking outside the box. Because if you follow the norm, you are behind somebody else. But versus if you step away from the pack, then you can think and do something that can heal the world one day. And so
that's wonderful.
So that's a whole process that started this whole journey, and it really gave me a jump start when I had my own compounding pharmacy to really make an impact.
How many years ago was that when you started realizing you were onto something really big that can change people's health and wellness and outlook on life?
So that was 13 years ago when I first discovered the glutathione. Before that, I was trying a few things here and there and trying to go with the motion as what they're asking me, and for me to produce something what been asked for me to make. Versus this was something that I did on my own. And it gives me the ultimate pleasure of, I said, wow, we did create something that is brand new and has never been done in the world before. So that was exciting.
And now you wrote this book. And again, for my viewers and listeners, this book could change your life. Now, most of my viewers and listeners who've been following my podcast for years know I really stress health and wellness in my life. I've been a vegetarian over 40 years, a vegan over 12 years. I work out every day. I've been taking myself orally glutathione for a long time. This is just a bottle I brought in from my house. But when I read your book, it changed even my perspective on the importance of glutathione and how it interacts in your body and what benefits it could have. So first, I'd love you just to share with our audience, what is glutathione and GHS? What is it really?
So GSH, which is glutathione,
right,
in a short form, it's a protein that is produced by humans in abundance. I mean, our body produces this as a primary defense mechanism for the whole body. It is there to remove all the oxidative species, the toxins, the exposures that we have from the environmental sources, and basically keep our body clean at all times. So that, in a nutshell, is glutathione. And based on the function it does, it has been given different names. It has been given the name of the mother of all antioxidants. It's been given the name of a master detoxifier. And it all depends on the function it does. It's a multifactorial molecule that our body produces. And we as a human being, as a race, have tried to manipulate our body to function better instead of giving the resources what our body needs. So because the body is enough, has everything it needs to function itself properly and defend itself. So
what happens, you know, I mean, it's fascinating. In the book, you talk about so many different things, from psoriasis to autoimmune diseases to Parkinson's. There's so many things that happen when our glutathione levels are low. Can you share what some potential benefits of making sure our levels are correct? How do we figure out, first of all, where our levels are, and then how do we correct them?
So the glutathione in the body, when it gets produced, it has a very short life. It stays in the body for maybe 4 or 5 hours at the most. So if you do a blood test, you're going to hit and miss. You may do a blood test when it got just about to get produced, and you may say that, hey, the levels are perfectly normal. Yet at the same time, if you do 4 hours later, the levels are back to zero. So it is very difficult to pinpoint what levels of glutathione you have in your body. At the same time, if you have abundance of glutathione in your body, are there any negative effects of it? And there are none at this point. So if you have too much of glutathione, it's still okay. If it's not enough, your body will not be able to clean itself up. So that's the what I call it as the lab testings, or to know how much glutathione you have in your body. But the key is, as we age in this modern day in society, we are so much focused on mental stress, physical stress, chemical stress. We don't eat. We are always on the go, and our body is constantly under pressure. Under pressure, our body produces a lot of oxidative species and is inflamed from inside, because our body cannot get rid of all this toxins that have been produced internally by ourselves. And hence, the glutathione levels, even though the levels could be normal, is not enough based on our lifestyle at this current point. And so what I say is instead of figuring out how much levels you have and what levels you do, if you just follow the plan to eat the right foods, drink the right water, and avoid all the toxins, like mainly the alcohol, of course, and something that we're not supposed to take on a regular basis, and see if that makes a change in your life. If it does, the body is recovering. But the thing is, we always look at two-part issue, right? We want to supplement glutathione. That's one way. The other one is, can we reduce the amount of toxins or the stress that we put on our body, so we don't need that much glutathione on a daily basis? And so people always think about it, say, hey, what do I need to do to increase glutathione levels? I always think is that, first of all, what can I do so that my need for glutathione is not very high? If I can achieve that, then if my needs are a certain amount, and if I cannot produce that amount, then I need supplementation at that point. So
it's fascinating. You know, for our listeners and viewers who just joined us, we've got Dr. Nayan Patel with us. He's written this great book, The Glutathione Revolution. You can find this book at Amazon.com, Barnes & Noble, and other great bookstores in the United States and around the world. You know, you also can find Dr. Patel at www.aurowellness.com, aurowellness.com. You know, Nayan, what about, we're all under stress. We're living still during this COVID-19 tragic period. So we have external stresses that none of us have ever experienced before. Keeping our glutathione levels up help ward off stress and some of the diseases that are caused from external stress besides internal stress?
Yes, it does. And there have been a couple of studies that have been done, especially people with COVID. They have done that the people that have COVID traditionally have low levels of glutathione to begin with. And there was just one study that was been published. I believe it was in Europe or Eastern Europe, I believe so. And that study just shows that the levels of glutathione are very low. But we are experiencing a tremendous amount of stress that we have never seen before, mental stress more than anything else. And our eating habits have changed in the point that we're not eating the right types of fruits and vegetables, what we call the rainbow color foods that we get on a daily basis. And if you don't do that part, we are not doing our part in maintaining our body's optimum function. Our need of glutathione is probably at all-time high during these times that I've seen before. And so we talk about chronic inflammation leading to autoimmune disease. Autoimmune disease to me is what people talk about. I said, well, the doctor doesn't think what's wrong with you, but the cause is your body's attacking your own body. I said, well, the body's not designed to attack yourself, right? So that means you're lacking something, or you have too much inflammation in your body that needs to be brought down so that your body can think. I said, well, it's not me that is self-destructing. Maybe there's outside sources that's doing for us. So glutathione to counteract autoimmune conditions or disease or issues is paramount as to how we can optimize our levels of glutathione.
You know, in your book, and again, the Glutathione Revolution, fight disease, slow aging, increase energy with the master antioxidant. In your book, you talk about different types of glutathione. I never knew this. All these years I've been taking oral, I didn't realize you could also get it intravenously and also via spray and gel. Can you explain how our body absorbs all different versions and what should most of us be doing, and what do you recommend in your great book, how we should be taking on glutathione to help us improve our life?
Absolutely, John. Thank you for asking that question. That is even my doctor friends and my pharmacists don't understand what I'm talking about half the time.
Yeah.
Glutathione is a large molecule. It's a protein. It's a 3 amino acid chain protein that is large molecule. And what happens when you eat proteins? When you eat proteins, your body will break it down into 3 different amino acids, and then the body will take those amino acids and try to produce proteins again. So when you take glutathione by mouth, it doesn't matter if it's in a capsule form or it's in some emulsions or suspensions or liposomes. There's all kinds of variations of glutathione that you can take it by mouth. Everything gets broken down into amino acids, and the body will try to build up again. The other option is you have the intravenous forms of glutathione, which is currently not been approved by FDA. There are doctors' offices that do use compounding pharmacists to use this product. And that goes straight into your venous system. But keep in mind, I told you earlier, glutathione has a very short life. It's about 3 to 4 hours. When you do an intravenous form of glutathione, the life of the glutathione is only about 10 minutes to 30 minutes. So unless you're going to take a shot every 30 minutes for the rest of your life, you're not going to get something meaningful out of that one. So it wasn't until 13 years ago when we discovered this technology we reduced the glutathione particle size to something small enough that can go through your skin. And so we developed this technology to basically stabilize the glutathione at room temperature in a water molecule and put into this technology where it reduces the particle size and get through your skin. So for the very first time, we are sending intact amount of protein through your skin into your body. And so that, in a nutshell, my mind started going crazy. Back then I had some hair, so now I'm completely bald because I was just thinking way too much more than I had to. And even though discovering the molecule was hard enough, putting into clinical application was monumental task for us. And it was thankful to all the physicians and all my professors that trusted me and helped me guide through this process. And so today we have a lot to share, and that just told me why I had to write this book, because it's just too much information for me to share.
I've never seen spray before, and that methodology. Where can our viewers and listeners to the Impact Podcast find the sprays that you say are very helpful for such things as scarring, for surgery, for psoriasis, absorption the right way. There's many uses you outline in your great book. Where can they find these products?
So John, I'm sorry for the shameless plug for myself at
That's
this.
Okay.
But yeah, the sprays are patented. We have worldwide patents for these products.
Okay.
And our goal is to have two different product lines, one for skin conditions, because people have tremendous amount of skin issues that are related to autoimmune conditions. Okay. So the website is auroskincare.com, AURO skincare.com. And my passion, of course, I work with physicians all over the United States and the world, and that is towards wellness side. And that website is aurowellness.com, AURO wellness.com. Over there, I work with physicians. So if your listeners are interested in learning more, talk to the physicians, have the physicians talk to me. We can design plans for them. Absolutely.
That's wonderful. As I mentioned, I've been a vegetarian. I'm 58 now, and I've been a vegetarian since I'm 17, a vegan the last 12 or so years or more, mostly plant-based. Talk about what you talk about in your book about eating do's and don'ts. What should we be eating? What should we not be eating to maintain optimum health and wellness, Doc, according to what you've learned over your illustrious career?
So what I always believe that people should do what I say, not what I do. Okay. And I said, well, that's not going to work because people are going to look at me and say, what do you do? And so I cannot tell what people should do. I can only tell them what I do and see if they can mimic part of what I do. And hopefully that is the good therapy, because I do believe that I live a healthy lifestyle as much as possible. I'm a vegetarian myself. I converted vegetarian about 5 years ago. Until the time I used to eat meat maybe once a month.
Okay.
So it didn't matter a whole lot.
Right.
But I said, you know what? If I'm going to preach what's right for me, I had to do the part. So I stopped that. I'm very much into fruits and vegetables and eating a healthy, balanced meal. That means you got to eat all the different colors of fruits and vegetables. If you just eat the greens every single day, you're going to miss out on a lot of different antioxidants as well from the other colors of the products as well. So eating a multicolored product is fruits and vegetables is what I advocate. I have some outlines in my book, but again, that is something that I do on a daily basis. It's not something, you got to keep life simple, right?
Yeah.
And we have learned from so many people, if you just think about it, wake up in the morning, this is what you're going to eat every day. Then you don't have to think about it. You wake up in the morning, take your fruits and vegetables. If you don't have time to eat them, then you put it in a blender, you just make a smoothie out of it,
right,
and you go. But the key is when you make a smoothie out of it, people don't realize that when you chew is when you produce enzymes. So if you drink it, you're not producing enzymes. So I'm stuck myself taking a smoothie in the morning with some enzyme capsules.
Oh my God.
I have to juggle my busy lifestyle. So even though as much as I want to do the right thing,
right,
I compensate for things that I cannot do. So if my patients are not going to do what I ask them to do, then tell them that, okay, do what you can and supplement the glutathione with it, supplement the enzymes with it, supplement the acids that goes with it. So that way, I don't want you to rely on the medications, but I want them to use as a supplementation for things that you are not willing to do.
Nayan, since your book has come out, how's the response been? I mean, the people that have endorsed you are just some of the who's who and greatest people in medicine. Dr. Mark Hyman, Dr. David Perlmutter, Dr. Daniel Amen, one of the greatest brain people on the planet. I mean, the response and the people that are endorsing you are just a who's who in the medical field. How's the response been from your readers?
So again, these are physicians that I admire, and I was fortunate for them to endorse my book. But the biggest pleasure I got was one of the endorsers is Dr. Daniel Robinson. He was my professor of clinical pharmacy at USC.
Okay.
He's currently the dean at Western University School of Pharmacy in Pomona, California. And when he read the book, and he says, Nayan, I'm a big fan of you now. I said, Dr. Robinson, you taught me. I'm here because of you. And the biggest pleasure that happened to me is when he told me that he has bought up several books for his own family members and is gifting them for Christmas. And that just brought tears to my eyes, because for the very first time now, the professor is telling the student that I like your work. So that's the biggest joy I have today.
I'm not a medical professional, but I do take my health and wellness seriously, as does my family. And after reading your book, I'm convinced that this is almost, if this was a baseball game, Nayan, that this is the top of the first inning. This seems like this revolution has only just begun, and that there's so much in front of you in terms of spreading the word and getting more people to balance this important antioxidant in their system. Do you feel that this is just the beginning as well?
Oh, you just asked me a question about my research, because when this thing got developed for the first time, yes, I said, "Oh my God, this is the end of the this is history now." And when I started using the practice, I said, "You know what? This is just the beginning."
Yeah.
Because now I need to figure out. So there's so many different ailments that I still have to work on. And so using the technology, I'm currently working on different molecules and see if I can do same thing with some of the harshest chemicals that are out there that our body produces internally, that we cannot get it from outside sources. Mainly NAD right now it's huge. And so we've been working countless hours trying to stabilize that and deliver through your skin again for the very first time. We're working with companies working with stem cells and see if we can figure out, instead of getting stem cells, which is a large molecule, can I work with exosomes or something that our body can accept it without having any concern. So again, we are using the technology to develop a product that our body produces internally and give it back to them. I'm not interested in making a product that is a brand new chemical that it can be patented and try to deliver to your body. I want to empower my body to defend itself. That's my slogan.
That's wonderful. And there's a multitude of benefits that are discussed in this great book, but two of them one is that glutathione helps cleanse your liver. Is that correct? Did I have that right?
Yes, absolutely. Okay. So glutathione is produced highest amount of liver, and again, that story maybe is in there, maybe it's not there. I forgot which story ended up in the book at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But one of the story was we had a bunch of people that were consuming a lot of alcohol, and of course, alcohol goes to your liver. People all know about alcohol, right, liver, and things like that. And when they started using the glutathione, they were still buzzing, but they didn't have that much hangover the next day. So very first time we realized that, oh my gosh, am I really promoting alcohol or for having these young kids? Yeah. So I was getting a little bit mixed reviews, but then at the same time, I realized that it's all about the liver. If I make your liver healthy, your body's able to process those toxins. And alcohol is one of the toxins that we readily consume because we think it's good for us. Right. But in reality, it's the worst thing that we can drink.
That's really bad. And it also helps ward off, glutathione also helps ward off potentially, if taken in the right doses, dementia, Alzheimer's, even Parkinson's disease. There's been a lot of credible studies with regards to the benefits of glutathione warding off those horrific diseases as well, correct?
Yes, and those diseases are because those are primary concerns because of oxidative stress, oxidative cholesterol, oxidation in your brain, which cannot reverse it. So that's the reason why we cannot treat Alzheimer's, we cannot treat dementia, we cannot treat Parkinson's. Only thing we have a hope for is prevention.
Got it. So. Well, this has been wonderful, Nayan. I just, again, for our listeners and viewers out there, if you want to find Dr. Patel and his great work, please go to Auro Wellness, AURO wellness.com to find this important and great book, which I highly recommend, which I've read thoroughly. I've marked it all up, made notes in there. The Glutathione Revolution: Fight Disease, Slow Aging, and Increase Energy with the Master Antioxidant. You can find this at Amazon.com, Barnes & Noble, and other great bookstores around the United States and the world. Change your life. Start taking this great product. Dr. Patel, you're making an impact. You're making the world a better place. You're helping to make us all live healthier and better lives. I thank you for your great work. I thank you for your time today. You're always welcome back on the Impact Podcast to share your journey.
Thank you very much, John. I appreciate your time today.
This edition of the Impact Podcast is brought to you by the Marketing Masters. The Marketing Masters is a boutique marketing agency offering website development and digital marketing services to small and medium businesses across America. For more information on how they can help you grow your business online, please visit themarketingmasters.com.